I stumbled upon an interesting video that I think you guys should look, man. It say Chicago drill might have started over a girl. It has 100K in 2 months. So maybe he might seem like he know what he talking about. This guy name is Trap University. It's my first time seeing his page. A lot of people see. We gonna see if Chicago drill might have started over a girl. I mean, is it believable? Yes. Do I personally think so? Nah, I feel like there's a lot of other factors that probably played a part, but we're going to see what he say, though. We're going to see what he say. Maybe
Chicago,
maybe it'll change my mind.
How do they get into it? Why don't they like each other? If you want to know what started any gang war in Chicago, just look for the pettiest reason.
Oh, joking, he ain't no joking, beat his ass.
I personally saw a gang war start on 79th because a nigga tried to sell another nigga some shoes. He ended up getting knocked out and somebody came back shooting. Did you know a girl spreading rumors from...
He said, and this guy said he's seen that, so...
One group of guys to the next group of guys is one of the main suspects in how the war started that created drill in Chicago. Everybody was like 16, of course, so this makes sense. The YNs today will crash out about anything, but crashing out over a girl is an all-time historic crash out reason. Don't get me wrong, if it wasn't this, it would have been something else. But Chief Keef was just the music behind the murder that happened behind this girl, allegedly. So the story goes,
didn't Chicago drill? I don't know. It sound AI like. I don't know. Is this guy legit?
All these guys knew each other and hung out. King Von, FBG Duck, the whole 600, all of these niggas that were key to starting this war and putting it on music used to be friends. That's not a rumor. That's a fact. Half of them even went to the same school, which makes.
Oh, so this dude know what he talking about. Okay, so he been. Okay. All right, I respect it.
Even more pointless. Now, Vaughn went so hard because he got jumped by the same guys he used to hang out with, but he only got jumped because he was in the middle between these two groups that passed around the same girl. And when you're just a teenager in these Chicago streets, all it takes is a petty insult for somebody to die. And that's not a good thing. Not something we should be proud of. Now, it's very easy for me to believe that some random girl who none of these guys even probably had contact with once the war started could have been the reason because of many things. And this is just one of the wars. Don't confuse this with the several other wars taking place at the same time, because a lot of these wars can be summed up as, it's gonna be a lot, but try to follow me here. And I'm speaking as the gang members. We've been into it with these guys for generations, and we clicked up with you guys, so you might as well join, because when the other guys see you hanging with us, we both gonna get shot.
It's a lot of explanation, and the gang stuff. This is, I'm blessed to not be in that type of stuff, man. And for those who want to get out and they stuck in, man, I really hope and pray for y'all, man. Like, but I don't have sympathy for those who want to indulge in this type of stuff and they like it and they want to be a part of it and they just want to and they live in it. Just like, that's corny. There's no growth in that, for real. There ain't no 401k in the game. Ain't none of that. It don't bring you no, you know what I'm saying? So
technically, y'all,
if you ain't one of them, this is just not worth it.
are in the war over nothing, at least until one of y'all actually gets hit with a bullet. When Chief Keef started rapping, there were already wars, but when the 63rd versus 64th war got into music, that is the part that allegedly happened over a girl. But it wasn't hard to start because there were already affiliations in place to make it easy for these guys to not like each other. Here's an example. I'm from 79th. The older guys used to walk around saying fuck the other side. Who was the other side? The guys across the nearest main street. I didn't know them niggas, and neither did a lot of the younger guys.
He said, I didn't know them.
But being followers and trying to look as cool as the older guys, they said fuck the other side too. Now obviously the older guys might have had a reason to say this, but the next generation did not. And as ashamed as I am to say this, I was at one of the first BDK parties. There might have been 5 guys in the party that actually meant it, and the rest of the kids there didn't really care. They just...
A lot of people, that's what I'm saying, a lot of people, this is what I mean, a lot of people just be turning up just to be turning up. They like to find little excuses to turn up. The littlest thing. Okay, let's get drunk. They do that. They do that. I'm telling you.
Just said it because it went with the music. And this was before JoJo, before Keith. I was in 6th grade, and the guys who started saying it were maybe 8th graders or freshmen, but that's when gangbanging gets heavy in the city. 8th grade. Because by this time, 2 guys in my middle school had already been a shootout with each other. Why? Did these niggas even know each other well enough to want to kill each other? No. And that's why it's a good thing they met up in the alley and missed every shot. I guess one guy was dating the other guy's cousin, but niggas was 14 years old. It couldn't have been that serious. And if this doesn't convince you that a girl could be the reason the drill scene started, I don't know what will. Keith started rapping and dissing Tuka from 63rd, even though it's well known that nobody from O Block or any hood associated with them actually killed Tuka. But this led
yeah, you gonna take some feathers when you making fun of somebody, and especially if we ain't from, you know what I'm saying. You shout out Keith though. You know Keith my favorite rapper all time, like all time. So
to guys like E-Day dissing 63rd, which led 63rd responding, and this is allegedly around the same time that girl went from one hood to another, spreading rumors. Now the war going on in the background with the BDs and Jarvis.
Whoever that woman is. Y'all think that woman is alive? I don't know. I feel like the way how life worked, she probably died too, man. She probably died the same way.
A completely different hood.
It's crazy how women can really just start war. They can start wars. They got a lot of power, man. That's crazy.
Look to the world like these
men
two hoods
we
were
both
at
got
war
equal
over
a lot of
something.
power,
but still, 10 years later, over 30 people are dead due to this extremely confusing war of words.
A confusing war, for real. We can't be doing that, bro. Over nothing. This is what I'm saying. Why do we do this? This is why social media needs to go. It makes bread for a lot of people, and I ain't talking about for those. But we gotta do something. It might be too late, though. It might be too late.
Mixed with an actual war the older guys had going on. Also, an older guy is who told.
He's talking about like 20 people didn't died over like a we can't do that, bro. That's just disappointing. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this video. This is disappointing.
To jump him on the bus. This led to King Von becoming
20 dudes over. Like, we don't even know for sure if it's confirmed or nothing. We just. Sheesh, and this was before Chief. This was before the rap and all the phones and all.
Serial killer, by the way. I even damn near witnessed this happen. I went to school on 35th my freshman year, alright? So when L.A. Capone was getting jumped on at Dunbar High School, I was in high school around the same time, and I was also having to deal with the guys from Dunbar marching 200 deep down King Drive after school, and they was on some bully shit for sure. They used to whoop ass and hop on the CTA bus or the city bus in Chicago and turn it off so they can continue whooping ass.
Hold on, whoa, I'm missing. Hold on, I got lost. Let me hear that again.
High school. I was in high school around the same time, and I was also having to deal with the guys from Dunbar marching 200 deep down King Drive after school, and they was on some bully shit for sure. They used to whoop ass and hop on the CTA bus or the city bus in Chicago and turn it off so that.
How do you turn a city bus off?
They can continue whooping ass.
How do they do that? Getting the thing and turn it off and then.
And that shit was not right. When they used to turn the bus off so that even the bus driver couldn't restart it, the driver used to get up and run and leave y'all to it on the.
Dang. How did they manage to turn the bus off? And he ran out? I mean, imagine being a kid and dealing with that. And then the thing, like, dang. Dang, man, Chicago is
the bus. I caught a punkin' head one time on the King Drive bus. I ain't gonna lie. I fought back though, but that's just further proof that a lot of these guys went to school together and could have been friends. The thing is, all it takes is one psycho on each side to keep it going. Tay Capone recently said in an interview that if somebody brought up a peace treaty to King Von, he wouldn't even think about hearing it, and you might just get ignored trying to have that conversation with him.
That's why they say Vaughn was a real demon. The people closest to him say he was a real demon, man.
And there's somebody like this in every hood. And then there's the guys that hang around this one psycho that's either.
And that's the oh my goodness, that's the thing, man. Like, that's why we ain't gonna go nowhere. You got people that's holding on to that grudge to death. They not gonna let it go. They not gonna let it go.
Either too much of a follower or just don't care enough to actually push the issue. Peer pressure is a motherfucker, especially when people dying. And then again, when everybody is a teenager, can you even trust any peace treaty? I know I don't trust kids. Never did. Kids.
That's another thing. Tricky world.
And you can't
tricky.
afford to be walking around Chicago thinking y'all in a ceasefire, then motherfuckers pop out the alley with 3 guns and you ain't got nothing but a phone and a pack of backwoods on you. And after a while, of course, the girl didn't even matter. Once the shots started getting fired, the original meaning of the war was completely lost. And that's when it takes on a new meaning. Either those guys kill somebody I know, or those guys try to kill me every time I see them, or the older guys told me that when these guys see me, they're gonna try to kill me, so I'm just gonna assume that whether these guys are cool or not. And it messes with me because this happened across multiple hoods in Chicago for multiple petty reasons. And it's crazy because I remember some of these guys as kids actually just trying to be
them the type of black people I don't like. I ain't gonna lie. Them type of black people I don't like. Where you get mad, they trying to change their life and all that, bro. You a like, bro. I don't like that, bro. You try to keep them in the gang and all that. You all super tough and all that. And it be them that be the weakest though. You gotta read your Bible.
Normal kids. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but this is a video of a guy I went to school with. He wasn't even originally from our area. He transferred in and immediately got locked in with the gang members. 4 years later, he appeared in this video chasing his ops on camera. And the next year, he was dead. I'll never forget seeing him right before he died. I was at the park shooting hoops and he was sitting on the bench in a full jean jacket outfit with some Timberlands on. 2014 was different. And he asked me to let him shoot the ball one time. I let him shoot it and he bricked, but I always wondered what he was doing up there by himself. It was the middle of the summer and he was sitting on that bench, just looking like he was reflecting on his whole life. He was alone. And months later, I would hear that he was headed to his cousin's house in a neighborhood his homies warned him not to go to. And he ended up being found dead in the alley. 10 years later, I heard the bloodhounds dissing him. He wasn't my friend. Like I said, he came from another neighborhood when he transferred to my school, but I used to see him around, and I didn't have a problem with him. It's just that things like this stick with you for some reason. I don't know what he got himself into.
That's definitely gonna stick with you. That's definitely gonna stick with you. It's for sure gonna stick with you, bro. It ain't gonna just go. When you have a situation like that where you just see them and then they gone, then you seen that they was really just transferring from another place and they came from here and then they gone. Yeah, that's gonna mess with you, man. For sure gonna mess with you. When the video started, I was like, man, what's this guy talking? Now I take all that back. My bad, bro. I like these stories though. I ain't gonna lie, I like these stories. My
neighborhood. Well, what he did to end up in that alley, and it's probably something I'll never know. But how many guys across Chicago have a similar story? I still don't know if he got killed because of who he was affiliated with, or what he got into after he got affiliated with these guys. But the war he was a part of didn't really start until 2011, and for him to be dead 3 years later, I just wonder what he did. Now, he could have done a lot, but for what reason? The point of this video is not the girl. People see these wars play out on the internet, and how serious it is may lead you to believe that it actually started over something that mattered. Unfortunately, in my own personal experience, I've seen nothing turn into something in Chicago way too many times. And this is why today, nation means nothing in the Midwest and most cities. It's a small group of guys at war over something that started as a petty squabble. And sometimes I respect the LA niggas. Nothing is good about gangbanging, but if you gonna do it, at least have structure. The fact that the LA guys can meet up and agree to fight each other and no one ends up dead is crazy and a foreign concept.
Yeah, I don't know how LA be doing it. I don't know how LA does it. I don't know. I don't know if it's because there's so many people there. I don't know how LA gang work. Y'all, the way they do it, it is like it just seemed like it's more under controlled. Like what he's saying compared to Chicago, like, you know, in Detroit and places like that.
Chicago. Obviously, all the cities in California have their own problems with this, and it might not always go as planned, but where I'm from, the last chance to meet up and fight was well over 10 years ago.
Shout out this dude, man. Shout out dude, man. I ain't even know, man. Like, my bad, man. Hey. Shout out Trap University, man. Keep doing that, man. Cause bro actually from the area. Yeah, I didn't even know that at first. I thought he wasn't from the area, like Trap Lord Ross and speaking on it. But hey, that was a nice video. Shout out to that video. Anyway, we gonna react to more and more and more and more and more and more and more. We going up, bruh. Subscribe right now, bro. You see how I just did the little circle thing? Like how, yeah, you see how, yeah, you ain't know I could do that. Yeah, subscribe right now. Subscribe. Look, you did it again. Subscribe. Just hit the button, bro. You good. You're good. You cool over here, bro. You can say whatever you want. I ain't gonna block you. I'm not gonna do none of that. Say what you want. I only got like 2 mods. Ain't nothing. Shout out my mod. Anyway, I'm out.